You are listening to JosuBroadcast, Episode 7, The 3 Reasons Why You Should Have a Hobby. Welcome to my podcast, where there are good vibes, love, and it's only for nice people like you. In today's episode, I will talk about the importance of having at least one hobby in your life. Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode. I'm sorry for the long delay. I've been studying a lot lately. Long story short, I was working on this episode in December. I wrote down a script, but every time I read the script, I was finding gaps in the information. And I didn't want to bring false expectations. So I made a research online, and one thing leads to another. I started studying about what a hobby is, and I ended up learning about psychology. What started with a simple concept ended up with philosophy theories, but most importantly, this episode is out. Everything started when I was working out, but at the same time I was thinking about the hobbies I like, for instance, chess and exercising. Besides I use them to practice English by watching tutorials on YouTube, what other benefits I get from them? Does any hobby provide different benefits? How many hobbies should a person have? Do hobbies have something in common? These kind of questions led me to study about body health and mental health. I learned all hobbies provide 3 main benefits. There may be hobbies that provide more than 3 benefits, but all of them have something in common. Before going into details, let's talk about what a hobby is, just in case I haven't talked about it on a previous episode. Hobby is an activity that we do for fun that requires thinking, contemplation, learning, or being creative. Now I want you to pause the podcast and think about one hobby you have and what requires to succeed on it. Let's pause the podcast. 1, 2, 3. Okay, what do you like doing for fun? By the way, eating is not a hobby, but cooking. Despite the hobby you have, you'll notice that it requires either thinking, contemplation, learning, being creative, or all of them. A common example would be watching TV. We contemplate what we listen to. We contemplate what we watch. We put divided attention to watching TV. Maybe you would like to become an actor or an actress, so you will need to contemplate. And, in addition, you must learn acting and be creative. See? Depending on what your objective is, the more it will demand contemplation, thinking, learning, or being creative. Now that we understand what a hobby is, let's move on to the 3 reasons why we should have at least one hobby. Reason number 1. To reduce the risk of brain dementia or Alzheimer's. It has been studied by experts that we need to stay mentally active to avoid brain disorders, along with exercising, eating healthy, and socializing. Have you ever heard the saying, use it or lose it? The same happens with our brain. We need to use it, otherwise we will start losing our memory and clear thinking. Reason number 2. Social interaction. There are many ways of connecting with people. For example, through your job, your profession, your pets, and your hobby. You can meet people either in real life or online. Nothing better than spending time with friends by watching movies, singing, cooking, or doing whatever hobby we have. Reason number 3. To change our bad mood. This is why I like my hobbies, which are learning English, chess, and exercising. I grew up playing video games, but at some point in my life, 4 years ago, I quit video games, TV, and music. It felt like a waste of time, but one day I was really stressed, and a friend advised me to play video games or exercise to release the bad mood. And you know what? It worked. I will recommend you to have a good hobby that makes you happy and quit any bad hobby that put you in a bad mood. And those were the 3 reasons why we should have a hobby. According to some studies, each person should have from 3 to 5 hobbies and invest 2 hours per hobby. Imagine having 5 hobbies and investing 10 hours daily. That will apply to a person who earns money from hobbies. My friendly advice is to have at least one hobby. In case you would like to try a new hobby, let me give you 5 examples. Number 1. Learning a new language. Besides being a hobby, it's a skill that you may use in your profession or your business. Number 2. Singing or listening to the music. You may have a dream of becoming a singer, or you just like listening to music. Either way, or whichever way, there is music for every kind of person, and it's available for everyone on the radio, TV, and internet. No excuses. Number 3. Video games. What can I say about video games? They are everywhere. We can find them on the smartphone, PC, or a console. If you have access to video games, just play the one you like. Number 4. Tabletop games, which they are dying, aren't they? Do you know someone who likes playing Uno, Magic the Gathering, or chess? If you don't, now you do. I like those games. Number 5. Exercising. As we learned on reason number 1, working out, eating healthy, and socializing are good for our brain. And that will be it for today. I need to start working on the next episode. Hopefully, it's going to be out sooner than late. So, next time you feel worried of having many hobbies, remember this episode. A hobby is an exercise for your brain. And if a hobby is becoming an addiction, you should earn money from it. If not, quit it. What are your thoughts on hobbies? Let me know in the comments. See you then. Thank you for listening to this episode. This podcast is available on Spotify and Google Podcast. You can find me on all social media like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube as JosuBroadcast. I have TikTok and Instagram, but I use them to share short videos about each episode. See you then.